You love your German Shepherd, that's not in question. You'd take a bullet for that dog. But here's the uncomfortable truth that no breeder, no pet store, and honestly, very few vets will say to your face. Some of the things you're doing every single day, the things you think are good for your dog, are quietly shaving years off their life. I'm not talking about obvious neglect. I'm talking about the loving mistakes, the well-intentioned habits, the advice you got from someone who had shepherds for 30 years and turned out to be completely wrong for this specific breed. Because here's what you need to understand. The German Shepherd is not a generic dog. It's a breed with very specific genetic vulnerabilities, a nervous system wired differently from almost any other dog, and a body that was engineered for work, not for the life most of them actually live. What keeps a Labrador healthy can slowly destroy a shepherd. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to stop doing today. And the changes are simpler than you think. Number 4 is the one that catches almost every shepherd owner off guard, and number 5 might genuinely add years to your dog's life. Let's get into it. Number 1, you're letting them run, jump, and slip before their bones are ready. German Shepherds grow fast, scary fast. That fluffy little puppy can hit 50, 60 pounds before its first birthday, and that's exactly where the danger hides. Because while your shepherd looks like a full-grown athlete at 8 months old, its growth plates, the soft zones at the ends of the bones where growth actually happens, don't fully close until somewhere between 18 and 24 months. Here's why this matters more for a shepherd than almost any other breed. This is a dog genetically predisposed to hip dysplasia and elbow dysplasia. It's in the bloodline. It's in the structure. The breed's signature sloped back and angled hindquarters put extra stress on those joints to begin with. So when you take a 5-month-old shepherd jogging on pavement, or you throw a ball and let them skid to a hard stop 40 times in a row, or you let them launch off the couch and the back of your truck again and again, you are hammering on growth plates that haven't sealed yet. Every one of those high-impact landings sends a shockwave through a joint that's still under construction. You won't see the damage today. You'll see it at age 6, when your dog can't get up the stairs anymore, and the vet shows you an X-ray of a hip joint that's worn down to bone on bone. So what do you do instead? Before 2 years old, protect those joints like they're made of glass, because developmentally, they kind of are. Swap forced jogging for free play on grass, where the dog controls its own pace. Skip the repetitive fetch to exhaustion sessions. Put a ramp or steps at the car and the bed. And please, get those slick hardwood and tile floors covered with runners and rugs, because a young shepherd's legs splaying out on a slippery floor is doing damage you can't see. Build the body slowly, and it'll carry your dog for 15 years instead of failing at 8. Number 2, you're feeding for the food bowl, not for the breed. Walk down any pet store aisle and you'll see it. Giant bags of food promising complete nutrition, and most of them are fine for an average dog. But your German Shepherd is not average, and feeding it like a generic canine is one of the most common slow burn mistakes I see. Start with the most dangerous one: how you feed, not just what. German Shepherds are a deep-chested breed, and deep-chested breeds are the #1 victims of a condition called bloat, or gastric dilation volvulus. This is where the stomach fills with gas and then twists on itself, cutting off blood supply. It can kill a healthy dog in under an hour, and one of the biggest triggers is feeding one massive meal a day, then letting your dog gulp it down and immediately tear around the yard. If you're feeding your shepherd one giant bowl in the morning, you're rolling the dice. Split it into 2 or 3 smaller meals. Use a slow feeder bowl so they can't inhale it, and give it 30 to 60 minutes of calm before and after eating. That one change alone can be the difference between life and death. Then there's the breed's notoriously sensitive stomach and skin. German Shepherds are prone to digestive issues and food sensitivities far more than most breeds. If your dog has chronic soft stool, constant itching, or recurring ear infections, that's often the food talking. They also do best on a moderate protein, joint-supporting diet, not a maximum protein performance formulas people assume a working breed needs. Overfeeding protein and calories to a German Shepherd puppy actually makes them grow too fast, which loops right back to the joint problems we just talked about. Feed for slow, steady growth. Watch the waistline. A lean shepherd lives longer every single time. Number 3. You're exercising the body and starving the brain. This is the one that breaks my heart because it comes from owners who are genuinely trying. You walk your shepherd twice a day, you play fetch, you think this dog is getting plenty of exercise, and physically maybe it is, but you're forgetting the single most important fact about this breed. The German Shepherd was bred to think. It's one of the most intelligent breeds on the planet, originally developed to make split-second decisions herding flocks across open country, and later to work alongside police and military handlers solving real problems. That brain needs a job, and when you don't give it one, that intelligence doesn't just sit quietly. It turns inward, and it turns destructive. A physically tired but mentally bored shepherd is a dog living in chronic stress. And here's the part most people miss. That stress isn't just behavioral, it's physical. Chronic stress and anxiety in dogs raise cortisol levels, weaken the immune system, fuel inflammation, and contribute to a shorter, sicker life. The shredded couch and the hole in the drywall aren't the real problem. They're the symptom of a brilliant mind slowly cracking under boredom. You'll see it as pacing, as obsessive licking, as barking that never stops, as anxiety that gets worse year after year. People label these dogs neurotic or too much. They're not. They're understimulated working dogs screaming for a purpose. So give them one, and it's easier than another 2-mile walk. Spend 10 minutes a day on obedience drills or trick training. Feed meals out of puzzle toys and snuffle mats so they have to work for it. Teach them the names of their toys and ask them to fetch by name. Hide treats around the house and let them use that incredible nose. Give your shepherd a job, even a small one, and you'll watch the anxiety melt away, and you'll be protecting their body by protecting their mind.
Number 4, you're skipping the vet visits that actually matter for this breed. Here's where it gets uncomfortable, because this is the mistake that catches the responsible owners. You take your dog for the annual checkup, shots are up to date, you think you're covered. But for a German Shepherd, the standard once-a-year look-'em-over visit misses the exact things this breed dies from. German Shepherds carry a genetic load that most breeds don't. We've covered hip and elbow dysplasia, but this breed is also disproportionately affected by a devastating condition called degenerative myelopathy, a progressive disease of the spinal cord that slowly paralyzes the back legs. And it's strongly linked to a specific gene that runs through shepherd lines. They're also prone to a pancreas condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, to certain heart issues, and to a higher rate of bloat, as we discussed. The problem is, by the time you see obvious symptoms, the window for the easiest intervention has often closed. Degenerative myelopathy can be screened for with a simple DNA test. Early hip and joint changes show up on X-rays long before your dog starts limping. Many of these conditions are manageable, sometimes dramatically so, but only if you catch them early. So stop treating your shepherd like an average dog at the vet. Ask specifically about breed screening. Get the DNA panel done. Once your dog hits middle age, around 6 or 7, push for more than the basic annual visit, because shepherds are considered seniors earlier than smaller breeds. Bring up joint health, spinal health, and gut health by name, and learn the warning signs of bloat cold, because that's the one where minutes decide whether your dog lives. Being proactive isn't paranoid. For this breed, it's the whole game. Number 5, you're isolating a dog that was built to bond, and it's literally aging them faster. This is the big one, the one almost nobody talks about, and the one I believe shortens more shepherd lives than any single physical mistake. You're leaving your German Shepherd alone, too much, and you don't realize what it's doing to them. You have to understand how this breed is wired. the German Shepherd is intensely loyal, deeply attached, and bred for centuries to work in constant partnership with a human. This is not a dog designed to be left in a backyard or crated alone for 10 hours while you're at work. This is a dog whose entire psychology is built around being with its person. And when you take that away, the damage isn't just emotional, it's measurable. German Shepherds are one of the breeds most prone to severe separation anxiety. Left alone too long, too often, they spiral into chronic stress. And we already talked about what chronic stress does to a body. Elevated cortisol, suppressed immunity, inflammation, faster aging. A lonely shepherd is, in a very real biological sense, aging faster than a connected one. On top of that, the loneliness drives the destructive behaviors, the escape attempts, the obsessive habits that wear the dog down even further. And here's the cruelest part of the cycle. Stressed, anxious, underbonded shepherds become harder to live with. Harder dogs get surrendered. The shelter system is overflowing with German Shepherds who were never bad dogs, just lonely ones. Dogs whose only crime was needing the connection they were genetically built to crave. So if you take one thing from this entire video, take this. Your German Shepherd doesn't just want your time, it needs it, the way it needs food and water. Build them into your life. Bring them along when you can. If you work long hours, arrange a midday walk, a dog walker, daycare, anything that breaks up the isolation. Train with them, because training is bonding. Let them sleep where they can sense you're near. This breed gives you everything it has. The single most powerful thing you can do for its health and its lifespan is give that loyalty back. Let's bring this home. Protect those growing joints. Feed for the breed, not just the bull, and respect the bloat risk. Work that brilliant brain, not just the body. Get ahead of the genetic conditions with real breed-specific vet care, and never ever underestimate how much your shepherd needs you. None of these changes are expensive, none of them are hard, but together they can add years, good, healthy, tail-wagging years to the life of the most loyal dog you'll ever own. If this opened your eyes even a little, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because we make videos exactly like this one to help you give your dog the longest, happiest life possible. Drop a comment and tell me your shepherd's name and age, and share this with another German Shepherd who needs to hear it, because honestly, it might just save a dog. Thanks for watching. Now go give your German Shepherd a good ear scratch from me.